Akshat, please read the text. Akshat, let's start reading the text. Let's summarize the entire plot.
Aram and Murad were two poor boys who belonged to Armenian Gregorian family, who were known for their honesty since the 11th century. One early morning, when Aram was asleep, was enjoying pleasant dreams, his cousin Murad showed up to his window with a beautiful white horse. Aram could not believe it and was thinking it was a dream. But since there was a little light outside, he knew that this for sure that the horse was real. As they were poverty stricken, he couldn't believe that the horse was their own. He was trying to figure out if the horse had been stolen by his cousin. Murad had come to invite for a long ride alone. He asked him to make it quick before everyone in the world wakes up. Ram wore his clothes and jumped out of the window and sat behind Murad on the horse. They rode on the old
Just a
cut.
second, please. Just a second. So in the first stanza, we learn about Aram and Murad, the two cousins, their tribe, which was poverty stricken, yet it was known for its honesty and integrity for last few decades, I would say, not years, few decades, because they say that they were known to be truthful and honest since the 11th century. So last many decades, they were known to be truthful and honest people. Uh, it was something that was disturbing for Aram that Murad was having the horse, which because he knew that they could not afford it. But the temptation was so much to go for a horse riding that he left back that thought and he jumped out of the window on the horseback. Please continue further.
They rode on the old countryside of the area where they lived, Walnut Avenue. After some time, Murad asked him to get off as he wanted to ride the horse alone. Aram asked him if he could also ride the horse alone, just like him, to which Murad said, they will see as it was for his own safety. He got to know that Murad had stolen the horse a month ago and was riding it every morning. When Aram
Now the two boys, just a moment. After once you complete one stanza, please give a pause. So once they went for the horse ride, both of them enjoyed. They had a good time. After some time, Murad told him to get off as he wanted to ride alone. On this, Aram also expressed his wish to ride alone, though Aram had no idea how to ride a horse and it was difficult for him to control. So Murad told him that you can do that, but on your own cost. Uh, it took him almost no, Murad was doing this thing every morning for a month. It was now almost a month. And when Aram got his chance to ride the horse took him to the vineyard rather than the irrigation ditch and threw him off and ran away. This was something terrible for Murad because Murad was much concerned about the horse. And both of them then ran away to the opposite direction in search of the horse. Finally, half an hour later, Murad was able to find the horse, which then they hid in a deserted vineyard. The reason for that is because it was daybreak and they could not keep the horse back to the owner's house. Right? Now, Murad, we find, is a crazy creature who just every time he repeats a line, I have a way with this. At first here we find when he starts riding the horse, he says, I have a way with the horses. Then further he moves on and this thing continues when he says, I have a way with the farmers while dealing with John Byro. And then he says this thing with, I have a way with the dogs, where the dogs follow them when they are about to leave the horse at John Byro's barn, right? So basically, we come to know a lot about Murad's character here. He is a very strong person, an active boy who has a way for everything. Basically, he's a person who follows his own whims and fancies. He's not much concerned about what people think and what they regard him as. He fulfills all his wishes. He's that kind of a boy, right? And no doubt he's daring, he's strong, he's smart, and somewhere definitely he is crazy. Like the other day, I got an opinion where few children gave the point that ma'am, Murad was an animal lover. That we got it because obviously he loved horses. Then he said, I have a way with the dogs. And if you remember, there was a point when Aram went back to Murad, he was treating the robin bird. The robin bird was hurt. So Murad was treating it. It was applying some kind of medicine on it so that it could fly. So finally, Murad made it fly, right? So these things tell us that he was an animal lover. I've completed the second stanza, I believe. Okay, now you have to read that part where he goes back home and he meets John Byro there. Akshay, please continue. I hope the recording is continued.
Yes, ma'am. One day, John Byro came to Aram's house to talk to his uncle Khusro, who was an irritated and loud man who shouted at almost everything. Byro told him about his missing horse, whom he bought at $60. For 1 month, he couldn't find it, and he walked for 10 miles to come to their house. Khusro rode at him and told him, "It's no harm, pay no attention to it." Byro became irritated by his attitude and he went away.
Now, in this stanza, we are introduced to this man, Uncle Khusrov. Uncle Khusrov also belonged to the Armenian tribe. In a manner, somehow he is connected to Aram and Murad, so that connection is not clearly mentioned anywhere in the chapter. But we understand that Uncle Khusrov is a very crazy person. And Murad is considered as a natural descendant of Uncle Khusrov because more or less both are same. Now, why Uncle Khusrov is a crazy man, that is elaborated in this part, where it was told that once it happened, just like Murad was in a habit of repeating the line, "I have a way with farmers, dogs, or horses." Similarly, Uncle Khusrov was addicted to say the line, "It's no harm, pay no attention to it." To the extent that once it also happened that Avik, Uncle Khusrov's son, came running to him, covering a long distance. And when he came there, Uncle Khusrov was sitting at the barber's shop getting his mustache made. Avik, his son, informed him that their house was on fire. Now, this crazy chap at that time also told his son, "It's no harm, pay no attention to it." Now, this was the height of craziness. The barber has to shook him to make him understand that their house was on fire. And then also he said, "Pay no attention to it, it's no harm." Right? So we understand what a kind of person Uncle Khusrov is. The character sketch of Uncle Khusrov is generally covered in your papers. So please mark this as an important character sketch. Either it's of Murad, Aram, or Uncle Khusrov, these three. John Byro Farmer, we just see him as a concerned person who is the owner of the white beautiful horse, and because his horse is stolen, so he is troubled. Right? Yes, his role majorly is highlighted at the end of towards the end of the story, when perhaps he very well recognizes that it's his horse, but then he doesn't believe it, or he willingly gives up the idea because he believes that the two boys belong to the Armenian tribe, so they cannot do so. Right there, the role of the farmer is highlighted, but otherwise, Uncle Khusrov's character sketch is very important from examination point of view. Now, considering that, we understand that Uncle Khusrov is an irritable man who doesn't have any patience. He is short of temper, and somewhere he is very crazy and is senseless. He's not at all thoughtful. He never gives a sensible reply. Right? So when Aram goes back home after hiding the horse, he realized that John Byro, the farmer, and Uncle Khusrov were sitting in their house, and the mother had offered them a cup of coffee and a tobacco roll to smoke. So Uncle Khusrov at that time also, because John Byro tells him that he has walked such a long distance in search of his white horse, he has got a surrey, but that surrey is of, I've told you everything on the net is not correct. Surrey, the meaning of the surrey given here is wrong. Surrey basically is a cart or a carriage that is connected to a horse for, commuting from one place to another. So he simply told him that surrey is of no use to him without the white horse. So at this, actually, the pain of John Byro being the owner of the white horse is very much reflected. John Byro is a farmer, but he doesn't belong to the Armenian tribe. He belongs to the Assyrian tribe, but because he's a lonely person, he knows how to speak in Armenian language. So at this also, Uncle Khusrov replies back in the same irritable manner. So what if you have lost it? It's no harm, pay no attention to it. He further goes on saying, when we have lost our homelands, and what is the problem in losing a horse? Pay no attention to it. So John Byro becomes irritated by this kind of attitude which Uncle Khusrov was giving. So Uncle Khusrov got up and he slammed the door and walked off. Please continue from the third stanza. I've given the explanation for the second one.
Aram went to Murad and told him about the missing.
Akshay, beta,
Yes.
just give a pause for a moment. I think there are children in the waiting room. Dakshita is there? No, Dakshita is not there. Akshat, please take the screenshot, and apart from the science batch, you will be maintaining the attendance for humanities. Just send me the screenshot so that I can mark them accordingly.
Okay, ma'am.
Please continue.
Aram went to Murad and told him about the missing horse of Byro and asked him not to return the horse until he learns to ride it. Murad told him that it would take 1 year for him to learn to ride the horse. He further angrily added that they could not be thieves as their tribe is known for honesty and said that they would return the horse after 6 months.
Now, when Aram learned that actually John Byro told this thing very clearly that my horse was missing 1 month earlier also, and now again it has disappeared from last night. So this was something which cleared Aram that Murad had been doing so for quite a long time. This gave him advantage to somewhere pressurize him that he has to make him learn how to ride a horse, because now he knows that he has stolen the horse, he's taken the horse for last 1 month also. So he clearly tells him that they're not going to return back the horse till the time you teach me how to ride a horse. So Murad at this says that you may take a year. He says, I don't know, but I want to ride it. So they decide that they're going to keep the horse with them for the next 6 months. Right? So this again, somewhere this highlights Murad's behavior. Though he was a new, he had no idea how to ride a horse, but he was very passionate to learn it. So he took advantage of the situation, learning that Murad had stolen it earlier also. So now even he can use it. So they decided to keep the horse for 6 months. So the practice started for next few days, that every morning, early morning, they used to take the horse from the Fetvision's barn. Fetvision is a name of a farmer that is mentioned here, whose farm they were using to hide the horse. Right. So they every morning they used to ride the horse, they used to keep it back to the Fetvision farm and then come back to their house. Now, this continued for several days, though Murad was not able to ride it properly, and every time the horse threw him off. But still, this continued till the time one morning, John Byro, right, found the two boys early in the morning with his horse. Now, John Byro that day, he was leaving for the town. So, early morning, perhaps he was leaving, and he found these two boys with a horse. So, now how they handled the situation, what happened next, that we are going to check it out. Please continue.
One day, on their way back to hide the horse to the hidden spot, they meet John Byro, who was going back to the town. He talked to them and carefully examined the horse. He admitted that the horse looked exactly like the one he had, but since he knew his parents and the honesty for their family, he didn't believe that they had this missing horse. He assumed it was a twin horse. Murad managed to let Byro assume that it was not his horse, so they went away. The next morning, both of them took the horse back to Byro's vineyard and put it in the barn. The dogs followed them all along quietly and they left the place.
Okay, now this is something, this twist basically, I feel the author has left up to the readers. How do you interpret it? At the outer front, we find that John Byro clearly told him that the horse seems to be twin of my horse. He even asked them to open the horse's mouth to check whether it was his horse or not, because perhaps the horses are recognized by their tooth, right? So he said tooth for a tooth. That means it was the tooth of the horse was similar to his horse. At the same time, he told that if I was not aware that you boys are from the Armenian tribe, I would claim this as my horse. Now, this actually somewhere doesn't clear the picture. We are very well sure that he was aware of the fact that the horse belonged to him. We cannot say he was doubtful. He was perhaps reluctant to blame the boys that they had stolen it, because the tribe or the family they belonged to could not be pointed at, could not be blamed of such vices, of stealing or treachery or dishonesty. That Galguthin family or the Armenian tribe could not be blamed of such vices. So perhaps that was the thing that made him a bit reluctant to blame them. Not a bit, I would say, rather he could not blame the boys because of that. But otherwise, perhaps he was very sure that it was his horse. Right? This continued further, and he says, okay, no problem, you can take the horse, but if any suspicious man could say that it was his horse, So somewhere, perhaps the farmer was sure that it was his horse. Please continue.
The same afternoon, John Barrow came back to his house to tell his mother about his horse who had come back. He was happy and was astonished to see the horse better temper and it was stronger than ever. Uncle Khusro again wrote, "Quiet man, quiet. Your house has been returned. Pay no attention to it."
Okay, the same afternoon, John Byro came back to his house to tell his mother about his horse who had come back. Now, that early morning, they were seen by John Byro. Now, the one thing which we are missing is, you remember, earlier Murad said, I have a way with the horses. Now, when John Byro was standing in front of him, Aram being the younger one, he was a bit scared. He says, don't worry, I have a way with the farmers. Now, that same afternoon, the boys left the horse at John Byro's barn. Somewhere they were scared. They had the feeling that they were almost caught. So now they did not want to take any further risk. So they kept it back at John Byro's barn. Now, when they were going there, while coming back, the dogs were following them. Now, the dogs were following them. So again, we find Murad repeating the same line, I have a way with the dogs. Right. So we find him a daring and a smart person who again and again claims that he knows how to tackle people and animals. He has a way with almost everything. Right. So they leave back the horse. He patted the horse affectionately, and then they come back. Now that very afternoon, John Byro came to Aram's house to tell his mother that he has got his white horse back, and he came in his surrey. Right. So he was happy and was astonished to see the horse's better temper, and it was stronger than ever. So Uncle Khusro again wrote, quiet, you've got your horse now. Now pay no attention to it. There's no harm, pay no attention. So somewhere we find the character sketch of Uncle Khusro, Murad, and Aram very clearly highlighted in the story. Akshat, we can stop here. We have finished with the summarization.